Hello, Stampers. It is Selene Kempton here. I am coming from you live from Drake, Massachusetts, in my crafting studio. So, hi, my name is Selene, and I work here. It's really great to see you today. I had a question from a Canadian crafter who just started following me, and she was saying that she has trouble coordinating her cardstock with her projects. So, with that being said, I thought we would do a Facebook Live just for her and maybe for you as well. And you can see my lovely arrangements is up on the screen. Well, it's good. That was my stamp club for this month, and I can sneak peek you those projects. Oh, by the way, shout out to my friend Laurie Rigo, who sent me an Arizona mug. For those of you who don't know, I have a collection of Starbucks mugs, places I've traveled, people that I hang out with, they send me mugs. And when people come to class in the studio, we all get a different mug. So today I am Miss Arizona, but I have mugs from all over the country and actually all over the world. It's pretty cool. So every time I travel, I try to pick up one. Laurie was saying they make good Christmas ornaments too for the little ones. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to jump over to our other camera. You see my glasses. I should be wearing them. That's very helpful. So this month, we did for Club the lovely arrangements bundle. And my Stamp Club members made 8 projects, and this month they were 8 different projects. Hey, Trish! Oh my goodness, I get to see you. Yay! So what's really cool about the projects this month is I opened a new PDF store, and the link is in comments to this class in particular, because in addition to just PDFs, I can sell past classes there, and I have 5 kits left for someone that would like them. And actually, I can show you the kits, but these are the cards we made during Stamp Club. Aren't they great? So you might see a duplicate. That just means that I made one, and then I made another one when I made the video. So there is a video that goes along with the PDF directions. Aren't these great? Sending smiles. Always here for you. This is a double stamp. There's some techniques in here. It's basically a one-sheet wonder, but I thought that I would show you these cards because they are my favorite color scheme ever. And it does kind of fall into the question that I got from someone this week. So what the kit included was a third of a pack of this designer series paper, and we're going to dig into the rest of it. A pack of the Moody dots. Oh gosh, now I'm gonna have to look at it to see what it's called. They're always coming up with the coolest names. Moody palette dots. And then I included this paper holder to keep their cardstock nice. So when they're done and they like want to cut pieces up, they can slide it in the sleeve to protect it. It came with an 8-card kit. There is no envelopes in there, so they can use their own, or they can add them on because Club can do that. And a full bolt of this gorgeous cloud cover ribbon. So that's what comes with Club, as well as an 8-card PDF and directions to put the projects together. So when I was done, when I was done designing these, I was in a swap before this catalog went live, or it's an online exclusive. And I made these cards using some of the leftover pieces that I had from my club. So that's kind of where I landed with this. And of course, I did put the stamp set on the table, but it has since morphed. So, oh, it's over there. I see it. I'm going to stand up. So when I was done with my card class, this is what I had left. And here's my stamp set. I had put it all away because today I was working on something different. But this question came up and it led me to this spot. So I have one piece missing in here, which was the piece we cut up to make 8 cards. And now I have 3 more pieces of designer series paper. Look at these. That came out of this gorgeous paper pack, okay? So for this one, I used, let's see, where are they? They're right under there. I used these 2 patterns, and it's very easy to sit and make a bunch of cards with a couple of really simple layouts. So I'm going to show you 2 of my favorite layouts today, because if you have a pack of cardstock, the question was, how do I know what I should choose for coordinating colors? So the very simple, quick answer from me is I like to choose 2 colors and a neutral. Now, the neutral, could be this crumb cake pattern with the white, or it could even be a green. And this is even a neutral. So this package is definitely more muted and neutral colors, but they're so springy and pretty. Then you've got cloud cover and petal pink. So if you tried to put all of these colors, cloud cover, old olive, secret sea, crumb cake, all on one card, it would probably get a little bit overwhelming. Okay. So what does that leave a girl to do? So let me share, I'm going to completely go rogue. I'm looking at this one and saying, oh my goodness, I want to show you 2 layouts today. So the first layout is pretty simple. You take your paper and you cut it to 3 by 4. Now, if you're looking at a 12 by 12 sheet like we are, and you cut this down into 4-inch strips, and we'll just pretend that we made 12 because you can make 12 very easily. You would put this on the 4-inch marker. Let me see when I zoom in if you still get the okay, because people are always asking me about measurements, so I want to make sure you can see it. So you go into the 4-inch marker, and the 4-inch marker has a line on our paper cutter that goes all the way up and down. I'm just going to cut, oh, you know what though? I'm going to go directional. Oh, well, I could do it this way. This is different than the other way. So you can go 3 by 4 if you want your card to stand upright, or you can go 4 by 3 if you want it to lay down. So let's make one that lays down this time, because we did it the other way. This is the up and down, right? So 4 by 3 or 3 by 4 works both ways. So we'll start with that, okay? And let's see what the back looks like. Oh, that's pretty. But I want to try and keep it to 2 colors and a neutral, right? So there's already 3 colors going on here. We've got Old Olive, we've got Secret Sea, and we've got Cloud Cover. So I'm going to take it and pair it up with one of the more solid patterns. So I could go with the green. So you guys tell me, do you want me to go with the green or with the dark blue? And while you guys are going there, I'm going to look and see what I have for card bases, because all of these card bases, I cut a whole bunch of extra by accident, and I love that because now I have them from my live, right? I could go this way, but I'm a little bit nervous because I've just cut a whole bunch of white willow in from 12 by 12, and it is a different shade of blue. So even though I would want a card base going the other way, you know, the long way, I'm gonna just stick with a regular card base. So I'm waiting for your what to pair it up with. That's right. So I'm waiting for Secret Sea or Old Olive. While I wait for that, I'll grab another piece of Secret Sea cardstock, and we'll go the other way. So we did 3 by 4 on the designer paper, and you guys probably know by now that you can get 12 from a sheet on any of the designs, on any of the patterns if you do that. But when you get to your cardstock, you want to cut it down the middle at 4 1/4. And why am I choosing these colors? Well, they're what's in the designer paper. So I'm going to stick to 1 or 2 colors and a neutral. Of course, I'm getting a phone call on my phone. Hopefully my camera doesn't like succumb to that, but if it does, I'm sorry. So I'm going to go 3 1/4, and when I do 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, I can get 6 pieces out of a full sheet of cardstock and then just have a little bit of scrap left over. So let's do that first. I'm usually very good at silencing those calls before they even get a chance to happen, but I missed the do not disturb today. Bad girl. All right, so here's my scrap piece left over, and we can still use that as well. So we'll pretend again that we cut this down and that we have 6 pieces from a sheet, but you get how that works, okay? All right, old olive, blue. All right, we got 1 of each. I'm still waiting. We need a tiebreaker. So if you haven't voted yet, please cast your vote. So what I did here was I cut some white willow, and of course I did cut some pieces for a sentiment too. And do you think I can find them? No, because I put them down 2 seconds ago. That's how it works. Blue. Blue. Any update on Brian? Yeah, Brian has an interview to meet the team on one of his interviews. So it's progressing, and he's applied to lots of jobs daily, and he's doing all the things. So I'm so proud of him. He's really a great guy, and boy, some company is going to be happy to get him. All right, so I found all the pieces I die cut, thank goodness. All right, so let's go for a minute. This is 12 by 12, right? So it's white willow, and I just want to show you the difference. So white willow versus, and I did the same thing for Card Club. So if you did order one of those packages I showed you, you'd get the white willow instead of the basic white. There's a stark difference. I don't know. Here, let me see if I can pull it in so you can see, like, in the color. So this is basic white, and this is white willow. Can you see, like, the difference? It's crazy how much whiter it is. But the only thing is, it doesn't come in thick, so I can't use it as a card base. But when I use white willow, I also do all my die cutting in white willow, so everything matches. And here it goes. I'm going to lay that down. So that's easy enough. And I took a little chunk out of this when I was trimming. So I'm going to go back and take a little more off so that you can't see my oopsie. So let's do that. We're going to trim this down to 1 inch. And I'm going to cut the yucco off. That's an industry term in case you were wondering. No yucco. Yeah, I was pretty excited to get the tutorial store started. People have been asking me for years, and I got it figured out. Actually, I had a sick day on Sunday. I didn't feel good all weekend. I'm definitely on the uptake. I've got just at the end of it now, which is great. So that's 1 inch. I actually think I want it half of that. It's just enough to see the secret C. Doesn't everybody want to just see the secret C? Okay, so we've got that here. Okay, so I'm gonna come back out for a second and bring you, I think blue 1, this one, and we're gonna take a piece of paper and cut it to 3 3/4 because I want to layer it on this 4 inch piece. So we'll start with going 3 3/4, and if orientation matters to you, if you want your diamonds going a certain way, yeah, you can flip it, but I'm going this way. 3 3/4 by 3 also gives you 12 pieces from a single sheet of paper, right? So this is layout 1, and I am putting this here. So for those of you that are in Card Club, this is an additional card that you could do with your leftovers. And I have an 8-card tutorial. I think I already put it in there, but if I didn't, I'll make sure that I do. I have another 8-card tutorial that was not part of club. Oh, I put adhesive on that. Sticky, sticky. It's a sticky situation. Okay. So here we go. I've got crumb cake going in, and because I layered it down at 3 3/4, I have that white border on 2 sides, right? Pretty easy. And then I'm going to layer this, which is a 1/2-inch strip, which could be like, look like ribbon, right? But instead of ribbon, we have cardstock, and it's beautiful. So now I'm going to come in and take my 3x4 and put it on top of my 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So it's just a 1/4 inch larger, and it layers up beautifully. Now we have to start looking at these sentiments. If you see anything you like, I'm going to die cut, or I actually already did die cut from this section. So if you see one that you like, shout it out and we'll use that one because I haven't put it on a block yet. And I'll lay this flat because I know that we're going to use dimensionals on the last layer. So this is just centered in the middle of the card. And boy, we have a quick and easy card layout that the sentiment will go here somewhere. Okay, let's see. I'm waiting. I know there's more of a delay since I've gone to this new platform, and that's because I can stream to YouTube and Facebook at the same time, which is very nice. Let me see if I can find your comments. Oop, oop. Old Olive. All right, you guys like Old Olive. You know, it's funny, I'm not a green girl. Now that I went with blue, but we can go back to the green again. We will. Okay, so let's see. How about if we go here? And it's hard to go wrong with sending smiles. So I'm gonna lift that. Oh, good. Mary, see, I just said it and we're pulling it off the thing. So I am gonna lay this on my glass mat straight and then use my block to pick it up. And then we'll stamp. This came up during club that with photopolymer, it takes a couple of extra seconds for the ink to soak in. So if you're used to the old red rubber stamps, when you go to stamp, you want to stamp and hold. So I'm going to press and like just enough to catch the ink. I don't want to smoosh down. I can see my image perfectly through here. And yeah, great minds think alike, Mary. I was channeling my inner Mary. I was thinking Mary would like this. And so when I press down on my paper, I'm not pressing really hard, but I'm going to say, Mary is great, Mary is great, Mary is great before I lift this off. And that gives my photopolymer a couple extra seconds for the ink to soak in. So this image is super detailed and beautiful. And my dimensionals have walked off the table again. So I'm going to go get myself some. My goodness. It's a good thing I have a small craft room because I can put my hand on just about anything in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to add dimensionals here. And in club, they also got this gorgeous ribbon and some dots. Like I said, the dots have disappeared. I could probably open a new pack. I can see a pack. I'll be using these again. But you can tie ribbons fairly quickly and easily. And yes, I tie a bow right in the air like that. I just loop. I pretend I've already tied my shoes, you know what I mean, the one tie. And I loop, swoop around my finger, and then you pull through the hole. So that's a nice tight shot of a bow real quick. And, you know, nobody ties a beautiful bow off the bat, like, because if you look at it, it's kind of lopsided and it needs some help. But that's what we do. We tie it and then you bring it down and then you get your fingers in the loops and you kind of form it. And then you do the same thing again. You hold the knot and you kind of inch it down. This ribbon's so nice to work with too. It's not as soft as it looks. It looks like satin. It's actually got some bite to it. So when you go to pull back on it, it doesn't bite you back. It bites itself. It bites the center, so it holds on to that shape really nice. It's just so pretty and shiny. Okay, so here we go. I don't even know if I'm going to use this bow, but I had to tie one for you because, you know, it seems like something good to do. Did my glue dots walk away too? Oh no, they're over here. Swear there's like still an elf on the shelf that every time I put something down on the table, he takes it and sneaks away. Maybe the leprechaun is doing it to me. Because it can't be me. It misplaces all of those things all the time. All right, so sending smiles. Let's see where we like this. Oh yeah, a little higher maybe. I like it off here because now with this composition, we have a nice dark area here that will make a contrasting. If I move my original sentiment, I was thinking there, but if I move it up here, it really pops off the page and then it will make room for this gigantic, I'm going to call it bridesmaid bumbo. You know, the when you ever get picked to be a bridesmaid and they pick the dress that has the biggest bow on the bum you've ever seen in your life, and you're like, yep, I'll rock it. Just saying. Too funny. Hopefully you're laughing. And it does take a minute, so I was waiting for the butt bump, but you know, oh here, I can put one in. I'm here all week. Tip your waiters. Okay. You can tell I was once a DJ. All right, here we go. So what do you think? That's pretty good, huh? So this layout works, same measurements this way, and it works this way, okay, with your leftover pieces, which is pretty cool, right? So let's talk about another way to use it. You guys were really Old Olive excited, so I'll talk about Old Olive for a minute. Now, let's pretend I didn't cut into this piece of designer paper. If I were to take this designer paper and cut it down instead of 3x4, and I were to cut it into 2 3/4 inch squares, you would get 16 from a sheet. You could get 3-inch squares from it, but I'm specifically for this layout, I want 2 3/4. These are like how to pair your paper together. So again, if you want this card to be Old Olive heavy, I'm going to try and just stick to the colors that are in the designer paper. So we actually have 3 colors here. However, Secret Sea can also be considered a neutral. So 2 colors in a neutral. If we use Cloud Cover and Old Olive with Secret Sea, I think we're going to be okay. So 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And like I said, if we did the whole sheet, we would get 16 cards. Now I'm going to pretend that I haven't cut my white willow down yet, and I'm going to cut a piece of that to 4x3. So we've already got the 4-inch side. I'm going to flip it and cut it at 3. This trimmer is on the newer side. I traveled with my trimmer and it got destroyed and I pitched it. So I usually have 3 in the house for club. And when I got this trimmer, I forgot to take off the coating. Have any of you run into that? You peel this thing off when you get your trimmer. If you haven't, I'd recommend doing it because if this plastic ever gets caught in your cutting blades, it'll dull it. And I'm just digging at it right here, but you do have, when you get a brand new cutter like this, you get a film that should be the first thing that I took off and I didn't. So there it is. Now it looks nice and clean, huh? Okay, so this piece is 3x4 instead of my designer paper, and this is 2 3/4 inches square. You with me? So now I have this piece that we already cut that was 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, and now we have a whole nother layout Oh, geez. See, you wanted Old Olive and I just couldn't do it. I tried. You can tell it's not my favorite color. It's funny. I definitely lean towards blues and bright colors. Oh, before I stick this down, I guess I should do my stamping, huh? So I'm going to put this 2 3/4 inch square on top and try not to touch it. You're welcome. Because I'm just like you guys. I make mistakes all the time. And I can show you what not to do. So don't put your adhesive on before you want to stick it down. Because if you make a mistake, you won't be able to fix it. So I'm going to ink up again. And I just ink up the area of the stamp that is going to touch the paper. If I smush down, there'll be ink all over my block, or if I go in at an angle, there'll be ink on my block. And when that happens, it's usually all over my hands, and that's a bad time. So I'm trying to keep it 90 degrees with my ink pad, and then I'm going to press and hold. And who was the last person that left a comment? We're going to say, Debbie is great. Debbie is great. Debbie is great. So I don't have like death hold on this stamp, but I do have like even pressure. And when I lift it, I get nice even coverage that way. And I did already put adhesive on this, so let's flip it over. Look at how pretty those flowers are. Oh, so pretty. So I could put a ribbon going across, or I could put a ribbon going through the inside of the card. And when we do that, we can make it into a gift card holder. This will go on top of here, right? And if I am going to do that, I would probably put some of this paper that we cut from our cutoffs going across. So this is just a 1/2 inch strip from that 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch bit, but it separates where the designer paper ends and where you're going to see your sentiment. Try to get it on there straight and give it a trim. So these are super clean and simple layouts. You can add rhinestones. You can add the moody dots. Okay, so I'm going to tie a bow again because it's just what I do. Even for club, I tied a bow for you. Hey, Rosemary. So good to see you, my friend. Okay, so we'll just loop, swoop, and pull here. Again, we're just doing simple, but you know, I like simple as long as it's done well. If it's pretty, I'm in. It doesn't have to take me 2 hours to make a card for me to feel like I did something, you know? So here's another bridesmaid bumbo. And I'm going to stick this one on first to see where I want the bow. And if I want it, oh, wow. Okay. That's pretty. I like kind of where it's sitting. I'm going to play around with the spacing here to see if I want this to sit inside or outside. I'll have to move it if I want to put the white there, right? Or I could slide this under and you'll get, nope, because then I'll be covering my S. All right, let's see. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Maybe it's over a little more. I just liked the way that, yeah, see, now I'll be covering that up if I do that. Okay. So let's see if we can scooch it this way. So if you ever scooch in your ribbon, take your fingers and use all, 2 fingers, 2 thumbs to scooch, scooch, scooch. And then see if we can get it on top. Yeah, I think I like that better. So I'm going to actually slide it this way. You know, it's better to just get it where you want it before you stick anything. And there's no ribbon, there's no adhesive on my ribbon. So I can still, manipulate that pretty easily. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit more than normal of seal on this bad boy because I want to make sure that where I am layering over this nice thick ribbon that it sits down. So nice and easy. 3 sides equal. Smush, smush. When I get it right in the right spot. And there we go. So it'll tuck funny in the envelope. I'm not gonna lie. We could have done it at the top. I could have done it across the middle, but I didn't. I did it different. So you can make every single card different. And I'll probably put a couple of dots on this. Oh, I'm gonna cave and open the new ones. I did almost use I used a whole bunch of them. Hang on. You should see the other side of my table over there. It's like a craft room threw up in here. It's just stuff is everywhere. But I'll get to cleaning again. That's like step 1, right? Ah. And my picky tool is missing. Oh, there it is. So I'm kind of excited. I get to use, do we want to use the light blue, the cloud cover, or we want to use the white? The white really pull, the blue really, I think the blue because of the card base. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3 across. And maybe I should have lost the bridesmaid bow, but you know, such is the life of a card maker. I'll just make another one. Let's do it. Because why not? So rule number 1, close the ink pad when you're done stamping, or it will be on your elbow. Let's go one more time. So I'm going 3x4 with the white. I know I'm going a little faster now, but you know, we've got the concept down. This piece is already 2 3/4, so let's go again. 2 3/4. I'm gonna go with what I originally was thinking when you guys said green. And I'm gonna cut this 3x4 and use this green designer paper. I told you I'll do whatever you tell me to do. So if this is 3x4, I can't use white willow on this one because if I use a basic white card base and I try and mix it with white willow, it's not going to look good. So I'm going to cut another one of these bases down to 3x4 for that layer. Don't mix your whites unless you use both of them twice and it's on purpose. How are those bows for mailing? Okay. If it's more than 1/4 inch thick, it does require a little extra postage. So you have to really love somebody if you're going to, you know, pay extra postage to mail them a card. However, I love to mail them, and I do pay the extra postage anyway. A lot of times I send mine in the Stampin' Up! Clear envelopes, which require extra postage anyway. So 6 of one, half a dozen of another, you know. Okay. So let's try that layout again. Okay, so now I've got my, and you know, if I flip it though, I have to change, and I used white willow, so I'm not going to flip it. I'm just going to, that one's got a ding on it. At least you know if I see a ding, I'm not going to like finish a card that's for you. Unless I love it. Okay, so here we go. Here's the old olive base. Put the green at the bottom where it goes like the ground, right? And then let's do our stamping before I put adhesive on. See, I can learn. Old dog, new trick. It's always better to stamp before you put adhesive because, you know, you have the other side if you make a mistake. My glass mat has been through the ringer. It's lost its feet. I got to hit Alexis up for some feet She keeps them in her room for the 3D printer things she makes. I like the sending smiles. It could be happy birthday. It could be thank you. It could be feel better. I mean, this is the sentiment that says something without saying anything. Okay, so we did the bow, right? How about if we do the flat knot? It's been a while. Let's see. Okay. So you lay the ribbon down, and now the ribbon is no longer ribbon, it is now paper. Okay. You fold this piece over, and the piece that's cut, meaning the piece that I cut with scissors, is the piece that has to be on top because that's the piece that goes underneath. The other part, the roll, is still attached. So if the roll was on top, I'd have to put the whole roll underneath, and that doesn't work. So cut piece on top, you fold this under like it's paper, just one fold, and then you make a cross. It's my come to Jesus moment right there, cross, okay? So now you come up over your hand and you hold the ribbon like this. And I've got my pinky on that tie where the cross is. And then I'm going to take the cut piece and fold that up over again so that it's on top again. And then the cut piece goes underneath. And this is the important part. If you don't remember anything else that I say, when you put the cut piece under, you tack it. I tacked about a 1/2 inch loop, and it's got the cross underneath it. And now I'm just going to pull one side, and this makes a super flat knot. So Mary, if you're looking to mail something and have it be flat, this is definitely less than a 1/4 inch, which is the post office. If it's more than a 1/4 inch, you need more than a stamp. When you're cutting a ribbon that's this big, I would recommend, if you can do it in one cut, to do that, because when you start to saw like I just did, there's 2, there's 3. It can get choppy. So if you can slice it like in one cut, like I did on the first cut, it comes out like finished and pretty. And now we can finish sticking this down. That's gonna drive me crazy. I need to go get a foot for this thing. It's like, yep. What do they call that? OCD? No, but I mean, come on. It's like sitting on a chair that has one of those things, where you sit at a restaurant and the table does that. I gotta get my foot for it. Pretty, pretty. So that's mainly Secret C up against Old Olive. And I'm crazy. I am going to, sorry. After all that talk about not being able to use White Willow, I really want to see this. The white is okay, but I don't know. I think the cloud cover would be better. I'm changing it. So here's a cloud cover card base. Oh, it looks really good with Old Olive. Okay. Hey, look at me stepping out of the box. Thanks for helping me. That's one of the things I like about On the Fly. People ask questions, and that's what makes my brain fire. And look at all these extra samples that we made with the stuff that people got for club. So you guys can be the judge and decide which one you liked better, the white or the blue. And I'm going to pick some dots, and since we're going green, well, let's go for it. I don't often pick Old Olive, but when I do, it's because someone on the fly told me to. Pretty. That's really pretty. What a stretch. I love it. Out of my norm. Okay, so we did, how are those boxes? Oh, bows for mail. All right, so it's the same question, sorry. You could hot glue dots on your glass, helps to keep from sliding. Yeah, that's a good idea, Elizabeth. I think I'm just going to get feet for her from my daughter, and we have all the stuff to fix it. It's just, it needs to happen. Sooner rather than later, just saying, OCD, honey. But what do you guys think? So I showed you guys all of the samples from Stampers 8. Mary, you should already have your package. We did, I don't know if I like the bow there. You know what, it's the worst thing when I say stuff like that, because then I'm like, I'm just gonna, fix it. It's too weird at the bottom like that. I don't know. All right. See, I like it better. I could put a bow there, just I'd have to put it like up here. No problem. If there's something you don't like when you're crafting, you can fix it. And then there's all the samples that we did, and basic card making and how to pick colors was the question. Like when I had my first 4 customers were from Salem, New Hampshire. I used to teach classes at a store called AC Moore. In fact, I was a designer for their store, and their whole store was like pictures of my daughter because I had scrapbook pages and I would just use personal pictures for the displays, right? Well, my first 4 customers were like, I had $1,000 worth of stuff before I could make a card. And I always used to say, you're making my ears bleed, because if you pick a designer paper that you like and you pick 2 or 3 coordinating colors, maybe 1 coordinating ink pad. Today we just use Secret C because it's dark and it's contrasting with the other 2 colors. There was Petal Pink, there was Cloud Cover, and I used White Willow instead of basic white on most of the cards. If you pick a few colors and you go with it, and then you use tried and true layouts, you could make cards for days and have them done in like no time. I mean, of course, there's always room for fun folds and things that we want to try, but for basic card making, if you want to pick colors, just go with the designer paper and pick 2 colors and a neutral. And remember that a lot of colors like Secret Sea and Old Olive could be considered a neutral, like black, white, and say crumb cake. So anyway, oh, I'm sorry that you're sick, Mary. Yeah, I'm just getting over something too. So hopefully you'll get a chance to sit down and make cards with me. If you're in club, those packets are all over the country by now. And if you missed out on club, you can go to the Pay Hip link in the top of this video. I have 5 packets left. And when I have additional actual classes, I will put them in my PDF directions store, which is now on PayHip. So that's something I did while I was homesick on Sunday. I set that up finally. So anyway, thank you, Debbie. You are such a huge cheerleader, and I appreciate all of you so much. So from my house to yours, I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you guys soon. Thank you so much.